A very good afternoon to all. Respected Principal Dr. Rio D'Souza and my dear faculty, a hearty welcome to the hands-on workshop series on online teaching learning tools and virtual labs, CORNEA 2020, organized by Sanjosh, the Teaching Learning Center, St. Joseph Engineering College, Mangalore. The test of a good teacher is not how many questions he can ask his pupils that they will answer readily, but how many questions he inspires them to ask him, which he finds it hard to answer, said Alice Wellingston Rollins. SJEC has always been an institution aiming not only on its students' excellence, but also on the professional growth of the staff. The Teaching Learning Center, Sanjosh, started in the year 2019 with the objective of strengthening new pedagogies and facilitating sharing of best teaching practices among faculty members. CORNEA 2020, an 8 days workshop organized for the teachers to learn strategies to make teaching and learning interactive and also to adopt various online teaching tools to deliver course content using various modalities by our own transformed teaching professionals. We have our beloved principal, Dr. Rio D'Souza, among us, who has set high expectations for our students and faculty and also been a navigator for all the successful interactive teaching learning sessions happening in our institution. Sir, I kindly request you to take over.
Thank you, madam. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I'm very glad to be here at the inaugural of CORNEA for this year. CORNEA, as you know, is the thin layer, protective layer, which is there on on the eyes of everyone. When the cornea is very clear, then you get eyesight, very clear eyesight. You are able to see things very clearly. And that was the idea behind having this name CORNEA. And the very purpose of the topics that we have put in this workshop is to clarify things. Yes, we know our faculty are doing a good work by doing online classes, using many online tools to reach out to the students or resistance, yes. But there is much more that can be done. And many of our experts, like Mr. Keith Fernandez and Ragish Raju, have been exemplary models of who have reached out and have presented webinars even in the international context, as well as have gone to so many of the schools and colleges around and spread the the information and awareness on such tools. So definitely it would be a great thing to have this learning spread out within the college among our own faculty to enhance their capability, their skills. Also, for a long time, we were planning to have, some input tool called GeoGebra, which is, I think, something which helps mathematicians to online and do online pedagogy. Dr. Ramananda has volunteered to take us forward in this. So, with the three great resource persons lined up with so many sessions for you, I'm sure all of our faculty will have a good time. I'm sure the coordinators, Ms. Pratima as well as Anup, have put in a lot of effort to make sure everything goes on smoothly. So with this brief message, I leave you wishing all of you the very best. Please attend all sessions and be enriched. In the coming days, the management will expect you to use these tools in your online sessions as well as offline classes wherever possible. And we will be requesting you to report this in your performance-based appraisal system also. So with this, I wish all of you the very best. I thank the resource persons as well as the coordinators, and thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir, for the valuable address. The first session of CORNEA 2020 is on Canvas LMS, setting up and publishing and scheduling Google Meet session using calendar. we have Mr. Keith Fernandez to deliver his insights on this topic. Mr. Keith Fernandez, Assistant Professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication, SJC Mangalore. He holds a bachelor's degree in Electronics and Communication Engineering and a master's degree in Microelectronics from the University of Western Australia. He has completed the IUC International Engineering Education Certification Program and is involved in engineering education research. He has undergone facilitator certification in human resource development. He is an active member of IEEE and is presently serves as chair of student activities IEEE Mangalore subsection. He is a member of IEEE Young Professionals, Circuits and System Society, Consumer Electronics Society, Solid State Circuit Society, Education Society, Robotics and Automation Society, Vehicular Technology Society, and Technology and Engineering Management Society. He has 6 publications in national journals and 2 international conference publications. At present, he is the NBA and Autonomy Coordinator of EC Department. His research area include analog IC design, digital IC design, and verification. Recently, he has delivered 2 international webinars on online classroom Meet of the Hour, organized by IUCE, International Federation of Engineering Education Society, and Digital Engineering Deans Council. Profoundly thank you, sir, for consenting to be our resource person for the workshop.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute. All right. Thank you very much for that warm introduction. I will straight away jump into my session. My session is Introduction to Canvas LMS and Google Meet. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my experience with respect to the Canvas LMS. I started using it 3 years ago, and how it has evolved over the time, and what are the common problems you will face and how to address these problems as a teacher and also as a student. On the student perspective, what are the problems they will face and how you can effectively address. And finally, the last part of it will be addressing Google Meet. Google Meet, when Anup had asked for the feedback on what is one thing you want to learn, and it was mentioned that you want to know about how to take attendance. So that's what I'm going to touch upon. And finally, maybe a little bit of information on how to use the same link for all the meetings that you're doing. So that's another thing which I'm going to discuss about. So with that, I'm going to start with my session. I'm just going to give a brief outline about what I'm going to do. So with respect to Canvas LMS, I'm going to basically tell about how to create a Canvas course page, how to enroll the co-teacher and students to a Canvas course, how to create announcements in Canvas, how to create modules, and how to add contents to modules. So this is one vertical that I'm going to cover in today's session. In the next session, I'm going to discuss more about the assessment part that is there. With respect to Google Meet, this is the outline, how you can create a Google Meet entry using Google Calendar. How do you invite students? So some of you, if you are not familiar with adding students to the invite list, you might be getting this option every time, admit student. So that can be avoided if you can use a Google Calendar. The next thing is to how to duplicate an event so that the link will remain the same. So this is one important thing which I want to concentrate on, how to take attendance in Google Meet using Chrome extensions. And finally, some logistic issues, typically the echo and what happens when you have multiple devices, such issues I will try to address. So let me go for a first poll question. I would always like to have interactive kind of a session over here. So I request Jitesh to launch the first poll questions. So the question is, have you used Canvas LMS for any of your courses before? 2 options, yes or no. You have 1 minute to answer. Okay, I could see that there's a tie. 40% are saying yes and 40% are saying no. And there are a few who have said, who have not given any answer. That's around 21%. All right, let me go for the next question that I have. If yes, how many courses have you conducted on Canvas? So again, you have 1 minute to answer. Okay, so one is 29%, two is 12%, 3 is 2%, and 4 plus is 6%. Good. And I can understand no answer because some of you have not done the courses on Canvas. Let me go to the last poll question for Canvas LMS. Have you experienced Canvas LMS as a student? So this means if you were enrolled for a particular courses, typically like the courses that IUC conducts, they typically use Canvas as their platform. So have you got an experience of using Canvas as a student? You have the answers? All right, so we have a majority of them who have experienced Canvas as a student, and 25 of them have said no. All right, so with this, let me jump into Canvas. Okay, so before jumping into Canvas, let us understand why we need an LMS. LMS basically stands for Learning Management System. It is an application which is specifically designed for administrating, documenting, tracking, reporting, and delivery of educational courses, training programs, or learning and development programs. Okay, so this is what LMS stands for, and there are quite popular LMSs out there. You have Blackboard, you have the popular one Google Classroom. Canvas is one among them. It has almost 24% market share in terms of LMS. So let me start with LMS, Canvas LMS. So the website that you will use to access this particular Canvas course or the Canvas LMS is canvas.instructure.com. Why there is a name Instructure in between is basically because it is open source. That means it is freely available. Canvas also, has a paid versions which are custom made to specific colleges. So in today's session, we are going to discuss more about the Canvas open source that is available, and that's what we are going to use. So the link that you need to use whenever you are accessing Canvas, which is open source, is canvas.instructure.com. So with this, let me just quickly jump onto the session. So when you type in that web address, you will get this page. If you don't have an account, you have to create an account. So make sure that you click on need a Canvas account, click here for free. You can create an account and you can just log in. Okay, so as soon as you log in, you will get your dashboard. Dashboard lists out all the courses that are out there in your profile. So I have almost 19 courses which are published. So you will get like this, the list of courses that are there. And this is a common login, whether you are a student or a faculty or a teacher. Because you don't have separate accounts for student and separate account for a teacher. So whenever you want to create a course, you can go to this option. The option is known as Start a New Course. So just click on it. It will ask you for the course name. So I'm going to call this as CORNEA 2020 demo session. Okay, and there are the licenses. You can go for a private copyrighted license. That means your material cannot be used by anybody. Or you can go for a creative CC license where you can mention what type of a CC license you want to use. It is basically when you give a CC license, your course will be listed under Creative Commons platform on Canvas. So as a result, it can be imported by anybody else who is using Canvas. Okay, so I'm just going to keep it as private, and I'm going to just click on create course. So this is the first step while it creates the course. So this is the course web page that you get, or the course page, what we call it as. You have different options. You can import a course from the existing of your course. Let's say you have already structured a course and you want them to be imported here, you can do that. So this is highly useful. Let's say you are handling the same subject for 2-3 years, you can import the existing material. So that can be done over here. So you will get a very structured way of doing it. Next is import from Commons. This is what I said. Some of the things are already predetermined and fixed, and you can basically get it from this option Commons over here. And apart from that, there are some more views which we will discuss later. The first thing what I want to do is to go to settings page. This is very important that you should do it before you set up your course. It is always a good habit to have a course image. So if you can find a course image, you can basically put it up over here, or you can create your own course image by using Adobe Spark that is there, and you can upload it over here. This gives some kind of a look to your courses. You can change the name of the course if you want here, and sometimes it will ask for course code. So I don't have a course code. I'll just mention it as SJEC 01, something like that. Okay. Next is the time zone. So this is important changes that you need to make. If you don't make these changes, you will find difficulties during the assignments and quizzes. So our time is plus 5:30. So that's India, New Delhi, and you need to define a term when you will start this course. So I've just put it as 21st September, and when you will end this course. It is up to you whether you want to put an end to the course. If you don't put an end to the course, this will be open throughout. Okay. And there are some options like students can only participate in the course during these dates. Restrict students from viewing this course after the end date. So it's up to you how you want to get it configured. I typically keep this option active. My students can view the course after they complete this particular course, no problem. You can set up a language. So I typically keep English US, doesn't matter. Next is what kind of a course it is. So large group. So if you have more than 50, it is always better that you go for large group. Enable course grading and scheme. I have not used that much, but anyway, still you can keep it or leave it. It's up to you. So this we have already discussed. And the last thing is what kind of a course it is. It's again optional. You don't have to do it. You can just leave it also. Let's keep it as blended. This is the very important section. Let's say you want to have multiple sections. So for my course, network theory, I have A section and B section. So I want to create two sections and put students according to that. I don't want everyone to be in the same section, same course. They are in the same course, but they are in different sections because it makes communication very easy. I don't want to tell something to A section, only to B section I want to tell, or in mechanical case, M1, M2. So in those cases, this will become very useful. I'm just going to create two sections over here. One is A section, and the other one is B section. I'll tell you how to add students to these sections also, that's possible. Next is navigation. So navigation basically corresponds to these options over here, which all things you want to make it visible to the students. I typically don't want students to see who are there in this group and all those things. So I disable people. I disable outcomes, rubrics. So all these will not be visible to the students. Conference, I'll keep it open. I'll come to this conference, very interesting component over here. Collaboration disable and new analytics disable. So what happens is all these pages are disabled. That means students cannot view these pages. They will be having these pages over here, lined up over here when they log in into this particular course. Apart from this, you have the ability to add some external apps. Let's say you want to use equations. Okay. So there are different apps that are listed over here. Equate.io. Okay. So this is one app which allows you to, add mathematical equations in your session. So you can always use Equate.io. You can just click on Add App. So this is a free app. That's why it is not asking anything, any other details. Otherwise, you need to make sure that you put in the key that is required. I'll just show it for a Edpuzzle that is there. The next is, let me just go for Edpuzzle. So you can see this is Edpuzzle. This is a proprietary software. So that means it requires you to give a consumer key and a shared secret. So this you will get when you create an Edpuzzle account, and mostly Ragesh will cover it up in the next upcoming sessions that is available. Okay, so I'm not going to discuss much about it. Then there are some feature eligibility options are there. These are basically the options which are running on beta, and you can enable it if you want it. I typically enable learning mastery and student learning gradebook. Okay, and all these, some of the things you can check if you want it, or you can leave it. So once all these things are done, I have to go and I have to click on update the course. Okay, I just forgot to mention here you have more options. So under the more options, you have very important things that you need to take care of sometimes. One is this show retains recent announcements, so you can make sure that these are enabled. Next, let students attach file to discussion. Disable this. You should not enable this because if you create a discussion forum, they will simply attach a file and you will be in trouble. So in those cases, it is better to disable that option. Even disable this option, let create their own discussions, because they can start their own discussion. So disable that. Let student edit or delete. This is also need to be disabled. This also need to be disabled. Okay, so these options, make sure that if you require only, then you keep it. Otherwise, you can disable it. I disable comments on announcement. I don't want anyone to comment on my announcements. Okay. Apart from that, you have to whom these settings can be changed. Only teachers. So that's what I'm mentioning over here, and I'm updating. Okay, so this is the first part of your course. Once this is done, you can go to your home page, and you can see that this course is not yet published. So that's why you show you can see here unpublished. You need to always publish it. Okay. Right now I cannot publish it because I don't have any modules over here. So I'll just create one module, module 0. I don't have to have any content, but just for the sake of publishing, I need to have it. So once I click on publish, this red button will change to green, saying that it is been published. Okay, so this is published right now. Now what I'm going to do is, first thing is inviting students. So before that, I would like to invite a co-teacher. Okay, so let me just add somebody. So if you want to add somebody, you need to click on plus button over here, and you just need to enter their email ID. Okay, so Anup is a co-teacher, and I am going to add him as a teacher. There are other options also: TA, designer, observer. Observer is basically who has access to viewing your course only. He doesn't have access to change your course. Okay, so I'm just going to add him as teacher, and I'm going to specify which section. So as a teacher, I can specify the sections with which Anup can interact. So I'm just going to write it as A section, and there is this option called as can interact with users of this section only. So that means whoever are there in A section will be visible to Anup, not the one who are in the B section. Okay, so this is one useful feature. Click on next. If he is already having an account in Canvas, you will get automatically their name and what type of an account it is. It is a free for teacher account. I'm going to just click on add user. So as soon as I add user, you will see an invitation has been sent, and Anup might have received it as well. Okay, I'm going to now take the invitations from the entries that everybody has done over here, and I'm going to basically invite all of you to this particular course. I'm going to plus and paste all their email IDs over here. Let me add to both sections. Let me take 50% of this. Anup is already there. So I'm going to paste 50 students in A section. That's what I have done over here. A section, students, and again, these students can interact with only this section. So that means they can interact and see only the performance of A section. So this is some kind of a boundary that is there between A and B sections. Okay. Then click on next. And what happens is some people will have multiple accounts. So you need to select who is who. So this will come. So you need to be careful. So I typically select the one which is having names. Okay, this is one interesting scenario what I am seeing over here. For the email ID Pratibha K, there are 2 persons it is showing. This is basically happening because in their email ID, when in their account, I'll show this where this is happening. This happens with the students also. They might have added their friends' email IDs, and what happens is when you send one invitation, this will go for 2 invitations. It will go for 1 person. Okay, so I will tell you where this is happening. Okay, and if you don't have an account with the Canvas, basically it will list out like this where you can add names. So if you just enable here, you can add their names. Okay, I'm not doing for others. Take some time. So then I'll click on next. So there is a problem with that Ravikant's account that I mentioned. So this is one drawback, whenever these such things happen, it will not allow you. One single minor mistakes will cause problems. So it will add participants to A section. Okay, so I have now added to A section. So in the meantime, I'll also get the names for B section. Why I'm adding you all to this course is because to get certificates, you need to basically finish some assignments. So these assignments will happen over here. So that is why. Next, I will again add people. Now I'm changing the section as B section. Students can interact. Next. Okay, when you send an invitation to students, typically what students tend to do is open this invitation in their mobile phones. If they don't have an app, what will happen is it will straight away go and get opened in a browser. But if they have an app, it will get opened in their app. But what happens when they open first time invitation on the app? They will be basically able to view the course, but they are not able to actually take part in the course. Okay, so the students will tell, I have accepted using my phone, but basically they are not enrolled to the phone. I can ask anybody to do it, accept this invitation from your phone itself. And I will tell you, even though you have accepted the invitation, it will still show me as pending. So for this reason, whenever you are sending the invitation for the first time, you need to ensure that all of them accept the invitation using a desktop or a laptop browser, a Chrome browser, or I will add it later. You can make them use any browser. Okay, first time invitation need to be accepted using a browser. Okay, so that's one thing that you need to take into account. So other things, okay, it shows 105 invitations are sent. So this is how it will look like. This pending basically indicates that you have not accepted. So here you can see Anup accepted my course, and he's a teacher, but he can only see A section. He's not able to see B section. Okay, and similarly you can see the sections that have come in picture over here. And this is myself. Somebody else accepted. Rahul accepted. I need somebody to accept the course using their phone app so that I can show you what is happening. Okay, so I'll come back to that later. Next thing that you have is groups. these, okay, somebody didn't get the invitation. I'll send it later. You can create groups. What do you mean by these groups? Let's say you have to create some kind of a collaborative activity. You need to split the entire class in groups. You can do that over here. Let's say I have a project 01, something like that, project. Okay. You can have different options. You can split them into groups. Let's say how many groups you want. You have more than 100 students, 150 groups. Or there are one more option, split them into groups with so many students. So it is up to you. Next, require group members to be, see, this is important. Let's say all from A section, then you tick this so that all the groups will be from A section only. All from B section will be having separate groups. Okay. And the last option that you have is I'll create the groups myself manually. Okay. So these are different options that are available to you. I will split the groups as groups of 10. Okay. And automatically assign somebody as the leader. That's okay, that you can change it. And I'll click save. Okay. So this is now randomly assigning the groups, project groups that are there. What is the good thing about this project groups is the students will now get an individual workplace where they can collaborate, discuss regarding, so they will get a home page like this, okay, where they can upload material and where you can visit and see what is happening. Okay, so now you can see that the groups are created. So some are having 9, some are having 10. So it's based on the invitations that I sent. Okay, so I can see that the number has come down. Okay, so for example, if you see here, Rachana might have accepted the invitation using the mobile phone. Okay, so she will tell that I have accepted the invitation, but here it still shows pending. Okay, so this will happen to most of the students because they will accept it using their laptop, sorry, their mobile phone app. So you need to ensure that first time let them log in into their account using the Canvas login details. And whenever you log in, you will get an invitation on the top that so and so has invited you to join this course. So you can accept that over there. So if Rachana can do that, if she has time, I'll come back and show it whether she has done it or not. Okay. So same thing will happen to, see, this is one more case. You can see some are having email IDs, some are having numbers as their names. So this is big problem. This all of us face whenever this Canvas course is being conducted. So how to overcome this particular problem? So for that, you need to ask your students to go to account. And under account, you have settings. And under settings, you have these different names. Can you see there are three names that are come up over here. So you need to go and edit these names because the first name, some persons, if I have not added their names, it will go as their email ID. So make sure that you ask your students to change the name over here. So this is very important. If they don't change the name over here, they will for the lifetime of this particular course, they will only see a number or an email ID. Okay, so ask them to change it. You need to demonstrate this. If you don't demonstrate this, they will not know it. So this is not possible to be done in their apps. They have to do it using their browser. So full name, you need to change it, make it your name. And sometime it will be email or a number, you can change it. So because this name will be used for grading. And next is display name. This is how your name will appear in. So some of them will argue where I have seen that I have changed my name is visible, I can see my name. That is because your display name is visible, your grading name is not visible. Okay, so ask them to change this, and also ask them to change the time zone. Okay, so your time zone need to be New Delhi. If you create account for the first time, it will be US time zone, so you need to change it. And somewhere I told with respect to one account that Ravikant Prabhu's I was not able to send the invite is basically over here. The problem is here because if you have added multiple email IDs over here, this will happen. Somebody is saying that they have not got invitation to join the Canvas. Don't worry, I will send it later. There was some error when I sent the invitation. I'll send it again. So if you add email IDs over here, so students, I had one case where I sent invitation to one student. 3 students didn't get the invite, basically because that girl had added all their email IDs over here. Okay, so you need to be very careful when you send to all 3 of them. It will go to one account only. Okay, the other three will not get the email ID. So sometimes these problems will occur. You can troubleshoot it over here. And once this is done, you need to click update settings. Okay, I'm getting messages saying that invitations have not come. I will send the invitation in some time. Let me complete right now. Okay, fine. So once this is done, you can always go back to your dashboard, and the newly created course will always be at the bottom. Okay, so now you can see it is at the bottom, and some courses which are not published will be listed over here. Okay, so if you want to move this up, so you can move to the top. Okay, so now the course has come here. Okay, and you can move down. So when it is moving down, it will just skip and go from here. Okay, so like this you can arrange your courses as per your semester. So this semester I'm taking 2 courses, that's why I have kept them over here. All right, so that is with respect to how do you create a course. So these steps are very important that you follow whenever you create a course, and I have already explained you typical problems that you will face whenever somebody sends invitations for the students to enroll. Their email IDs will be visible instead of their names. Number is visible. So all these changes you need to do it here in the account settings. Okay, so this you need to inform to your students. You can't expect them to know these things if you are sending it for the first time. Okay, now Rachana has accepted it from her browser. So as a result, you can see that that pending tab has gone. So whereas Ajit sir has accepted from the mobile. So what happens when this pending is coming? They will not be able to submit any assignments. They will not be able to submit any quizzes. This is a big problem if this pending is still there. Okay, so you need to keep on looking at it and inform the students saying that this is there. Make sure that you accept the invitation using a browser first time, or they can log in and accept even though they have logged in using their mobile phone. With respect to mobile phone, when they log in, it will ask you to enter your username and password, and it will ask you to select the college. Okay, our college is not listed under Canvas because we are not proprietary license holders of Canvas. We are using free account. Okay, so you need to type over there Canvas free. Okay, school name as Canvas free. So when you type Canvas free, this particular course, whatever is there, the Canvas string structure will come over there. Okay, so that is whenever you have this kind of a problem where students are not able to find the school name, you need to make sure that they enter Canvas free or Canvas instructor as the school name. So then you will automatically get it. Here in one case, you can see that there is no name. That's because again, the updation has not happened. Okay. So as soon as you accept, automatically the email IDs will come up over here. Okay, so that's something you can take care of. So I can see that Harsha sir has gone for both A and B sections. I can change this. You can always go here and go for edit sections, and you can remove one section. Okay, and then you can click on update. Okay, similarly, Alayamba ma'am also is there for 2 sections. You can go for edit section, and I'll remove from B section, update. So that's how you can do it. Or you can also look at their details. You can edit their roles. You can make them teacher. Anything is possible over here. Anything other than that is user details. So whenever you click on user details, it will take to their bio, what is there. It will tell for which all courses they are enrolled to. So it will also tell that member of this particular course. Okay, so that is what this is showing over here. You can always see the grades that are there for this particular course. Right now I have not done anything, so that's why it is not available. So like this, you can track individual students' performance whenever you want to get some kind of information. So this is with respect to how do you create a Canvas page that is there. Okay, Canvas course that is there in general. And every time you want to, let me add some content. Okay, after that I will just give you. So modules also need to be published. So right now module 0 is created, but it is not published. Okay, so how do you see that? If I go for a student view, you will basically get something that is empty. Okay, so you can always go back and check. So you can see here, I have not enabled all the options. That's why you can see only these options that are there. So you can always go and check in the student view so that he or she will come to know how it will look for a student. Now let me publish this module. So this green tick is it is publishing. So let me go again to student view. This course should be published right now, module. Okay, so now the student can see the module. So like this you can hide, okay, unhide any course, any module that is there. Okay, so let me go and add some content. So when you are adding the content, you have different options that are available. You can add a file, you can add a page, you can add external URL. Some of the other things I'm going to discuss later, assignment quiz I'm going to discuss later. So let me just create a page. I'm going to call this page name as timetable. Okay, and this is a HTML text page, but it has been made user friendly. Okay, so this is a page. This is like a web page that is there. You can always go for edit and start entering the content. So right now it is a normal text editor. You can always go and click on HTML editor. It will be different view. So I'm going for rich text editor. Okay, so you can insert some table, whatever is there, and you can give the day, time, and all those things. And just click on save. Save and publish and save. When you do save and publish, it will be visible to everyone. When you just save it, it is only visible to you. And once you publish, it will be visible to others. Okay, so you can see that under module 0, I have added timetable. So I'm just going to show you my course where I have done this. So this is module 0 I have. So under this module 0, I have different categories. I have put one is prerequisites. So these all are pages that I have created. The next is course outcome. This is how you can do that. Then you have timetable, textbooks. So you can embed images also. I can show that to you. So you can have images of the textbooks that are there. And you can also paste, hyperlink it so that whenever they click on that image, it will go to a Amazon web page where they can, if they want, they can buy that book or something like that. So for example, for this particular book, I have put an hyperlink. So you can see that when I click this, it will go to an Amazon page where they can buy this book. All right. The other thing which I wanted to tell you over here is you can add an external URL. When I tell external URL, let's say you want to add anything from an YouTube video or from anything from an external site, you can add it over here and you can give a name. Okay. So let's say I want to add multi-sim. So this is the URL. I'll just copy it and I'll add it here. And just I'll write it as multi-sim live. Load in the new tab. And I'll click on add item. And then you need to publish it. And now when the student clicks on this, it will take him to a website that is multi-sim live. So this is useful if you have some kind of an courses that are there, NPTEL courses and all those things, you can add it over here. Okay, so that's the other thing which I wanted to tell about how to add content. You can also add a discussion thread. Okay, so here there is an option called as discussion, new topic. So basically Q&A related to the course. You can add item. So if you go here, so this is a discussion forum. You can edit it. So basically you can type out whatever information you want to give out. This is a forum for Q&A. Okay, and here you have the posting ability to which group you want to post. Right now it is all section, but you can post it to a specific section. Let's say A section, B section, or this. I'll click on all section because it's for all section. Again, there's an availability that is there, and let's say you want to make this discussion as a graded discussion. You can click on this option, graded. Then you need to put on the points. So this I will cover when I do assessment that is there. Okay. So that is how you create a post discussion and click on save and publish. So you can see that it is added to the course. Let me go to an announcement. I'm going to create an announcement now. So let's say welcome to the course. And you have all the text editing options that are here. You can make use of them. I'm not going to discuss much about it. Now I can specify to which section I want to post it. Similarly, which we saw previously, I can post it to A section, I can post it to B section. Let's say you have a typical announcement, you want to make it only for A section, only for B section, then you can do this particular thing over here. Okay. You can delay this posting. Let's say you created the post now, you want to post it maybe 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the night. You can delay this. Let's say I just put it 21 and I'm going to write it at 8 p.m. So this post will be scheduled. So you can see that this content will be announced at 8 p.m. So till 8 p.m. this message will not go to anyone. So as soon as you create some kind of an announcement, every student will get an email. Okay, so that is why you should make an effective use of announcements because through this you can communicate with all your students who are there. Okay, so this is a good way of communicating. So I have done some announcements. So I typically do announcements whenever I post a recording, whenever I put some practice questions, or if there is a quiz that I want to announce. So all these things can be announced. And in the settings, I have made enable that whenever you log in, last 3 announcements are visible. So that's why you can see the announcements over here. Okay. So that's with respect to Canvas. You have any questions? I'll pause for, let's say, 2 or 3 minutes and take up questions.
Yes, sir. There's a question from Vijay, sir. Can I read it?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah, I think you have already addressed it. When I see in student view, settings is showing as logged. So he has asked it before that.
Okay. Which I didn't get the question, sir.
Sorry, when I see in student's view,
okay,
the settings is logged. I can't access the settings. That is the.
You are a student, you cannot access it. If I show the student view, even if it is visible to you, you cannot access it. It should not come to you. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, only one question we have, sir.
Okay. So you can post the questions if you have anything else want to clarify with respect to Canvas. I specifically like Canvas because it gives me a lot of control over my subject. That will become obviously clear when I do a session on quizzes, assignments, the timing control which it gives, no other tool has given to me. Google Classroom I was using long time ago. I could see I was not able to get good control over the timing that is there. It varies for Google Classroom. What I always consider Google Classroom as a first step in terms of using LMSs, whereas when you start using and exploring the features that are available in Canvas, you will become more and more attached to doing a course on Canvas. You will have some kind of a dislike towards Google Classroom, basically because you are now one step ahead. Canvas is basically one step ahead. There is something which is ahead. This I call that as Moodle. Okay, so you can consider this as a stepping stone for Moodle. College wise, this becomes a good practice because this is very similar to Moodle platform that is there. Moodle is an open source platform that is there. Okay, I think Ramanand sir had asked that question. Can you give some comparison between Google Classroom and Canvas? So It depends, sir. It depends on the like that you have. But feature-wise, Canvas has got a lot of features which can be explored to the fullest. All right. So with this, I will go on to the next one since I have limitations of time. I'm going for Google Meet. I'm just going to first copy all your email IDs because I'll invite there also. Okay, my next session is on Google Meet. Okay, I have a poll question. This is just to get a feedback. Anyways, most of them have given this feedback. Jitesh, can you launch this poll? Have you taken attendance in Google Meet using Chrome Google Meet attendance extension? Can we have the answers, Jitesh? Okay, so there is 40% who have said yes, 39 who have said no, and few of them are saying no answer. Okay, some of them are not answered. So let me just go to a demo on Google Meet and how you can take attendance. So there were some questions I would like to address those as well. So to schedule a Google Meet, since we are using our institutional account, so that's much preferred because it gives you the capability of recording as well as having students over 250 or approximately equal to 250. Whereas the normal account has some limitations in terms of recording. You cannot do the recording. So to schedule a meeting or a Google Meet session, you need to go to calendar. You can do it directly also, but that will not allow you to schedule the event. Okay. Okay. So let's say I want to do a Google Meet session at 4:30. I'll go to create. Okay. CORNEA 2020. I'll go for more option. So I'm going to create this today, 4:30 to 5, just for demo purposes. I'm not going to repeat this. I'll tell you why we should not repeat it. There might be some problems that will come. You need to click on add Google Meet video. This is all is familiar to you. Always add notifications. So right now notifications will not serve any purposes. But there are two types of notifications specifically for students. This is useful. I typically add 3 or 4 notifications. Let's say one email before one day of the class. 1 hour before the class, 30 minutes before the class, 10 minutes before the class, 5 minutes before the class. So this will keep on, stressing them, saying that there is a class that is going to come. Okay, and then you can give the description for the meeting that is there. And next, last option is add guest list. I'm just going to paste everyone's names over here and just click enter. Okay, there are some invalid email IDs. I don't know. Okay, let me just discard this. I'm just going to create with the few ones. So if you have made a mistake in the email IDs that are given to you by the students, this is one typical problem you might face. Okay, more option, add notifications. I already mentioned. I'm just going to add the guest list. So as soon as you add the guest list, it will automatically come here. So since we are all on the same domain, it will not tell anything much. But for students, sometimes you will just get email IDs over here. Make sure that you disable these two options, invite others and see guest list. This is very important. If you don't do that, the students will have the ability to invite others. I'm just going to invite people to join this meeting. I'm just click on save. So they will get you'll get a message saying that, do you want to send email invitation? Send. So since all of them were internal SDIC domain, it didn't ask me for one more option which says, would you like to invite external guest? You need to click on, yes, in those cases. What is the benefit of doing this? Having an invite list over there, it prevents you every time from adding students, admit student. Okay, so that's one good thing over here. The other question which I found was people will get emails once somebody accepts the invitation. I'm not getting that. Okay, that's because I have disabled that. You need to go here, okay, in settings and sharing. Okay. Can you see here event responses? I have made it none. So as soon as you make event responses none, you will stop getting any kind of replies to the emails that students do. If they tell yes, no, basically you will get it over here. So you need to go here, my calendar. So this is scheduled under my name. So go here, click on settings and sharing. And at the bottom, you have this option called as event responses. Make sure that you change it to none. So when you change it, it will automatically get saved and you will no longer receive any emails. Okay, that's one irritating part which everybody has to bear sometimes. Okay, with respect to attendance, there are two extensions that are there. I'll just quickly show you those two extensions. You need to go to your Chrome. Okay, in this case, you have settings over here. And under settings, you have extensions. Click on extension. As soon as you click on extension, you need to look for the extension that is there. So these are the extensions that are there in my device. Okay, but if you want to get the extensions that are required for attendance, these are the two. One is Google Meet attendance. The next one is Google Meet grid view. These are the two important extensions that are there. Some of them told me that they have Google Meet, but attendance is not getting recorded. That's because you don't have the other extension that is required, that is Google Meet grid view. So make sure that you have the extensions. Okay, it's not going to happen. So to get that, you need to visit here, open Chrome Web Store. So there are many are there. Yeah, it does make your system slow. It makes my system slow only in some cases. Let's say when I have more than 120 students, it has made sometimes my system slow. I'm not saying that it is not going to make it is going to make your Chrome slow, not your system slow. Okay, that's one clarification. Let's say so you can see that when you give attendance, there are many extensions that will come up. Many have created extensions. I use this Google Meet attendance. That's because I use it based on the rating that is there. So make sure that you select the appropriate. So when you just click on it, since mine it is already added, it is showing remove from Chrome. You can add it. Okay, add to Chrome. It will download one exe file and it will install it for your Chrome. As soon as you get installed, you will see this option coming over here, Google Meet attendance. Similarly, the next one which I was talking about is grid view. So there are different ones. So this is the one I'm using with the 418 comments. So again, this is you have the option to add to Chrome. So just click on add to Chrome. Again, that extension will also get added. Okay, so that's how you add extensions to the Chrome window that you have. Okay, let me go to the event that I had created. Just switch between my... Okay, I'm just showing you how you can maintain the same link and invite students for the next class. So what happens is, now I have created, I'll launch this in some time just to show you the demo. Let's say I have a class that is coming up on Wednesday. So this is my Wednesday's class, which is already over. So what I normally do is I click on the 3 dots here and I click on the option duplicate. Okay, so when I duplicate, the next session is the 9th session of my live lecture. I'm going to change the time. So the next session is for me on Wednesday, that is from 9 to 10:15 a.m. Okay, so this is what I have done. These are the students I have. I have kept the notifications on. What has happened is students will have this same Gmeet link that is there. Okay, why this is useful is, let's say some students might have forgotten, or sometimes the email might have not reached them. So in those cases, I have posted this in my canvas. So if you see in my canvas, I have here meeting links that are the timetable. Under timetable, I have kept it. So anytime they have to use this link only to join my class. Okay, so this is a common link throughout. So they don't have to worry about links being not there. Okay, so this is how you can get it done. So this link will remain common for everyone. And once I have done all the changes, the date, the time, everything, I can then schedule it. So I'm going to do it for 23rd. So I'll click on save. So when I send invitations, invite external guest. Okay, what happens in these cases is there will be already a content that is there from the previous, so you need to delete this. Okay, so this is 9. I can mention what are the topics. Then I will click on save, send, invite external guest. Okay, your students will not have access to the recording sessions from this. Whenever an event gets over, you will always see that the file is attached here, but it is not available to the students. It is only available to you. Similar to, let's say, one more class, if I have to show you, I had here. So again, recordings are there, but these cannot be accessed by the students. Okay. All right. That's one thing. Let me just launch this. So some of you might have got the invitations. Just join so that I can do a quick demo on this. So what happens is, as soon as you start the session, you'll get an option to record the attendance. Okay. So I have right now 2 classes. I'm not going to create any. I'm not going to change this. I'm going to create a new class list. Okay. So to create a new class list, you need to click here, add. Okay, now I am in the new class list, that is CORNEA 2020. So if you have multiple class lists, you can manage. So since I have already done the classes, I have all the students database that is here. Similarly for one more class. So these are 2 different, one is second year, one is final year. So let me go for CORNEA. So right now I don't have anybody. It will be filled as soon as people start joining this particular session. Okay, so now let me just click on join now. So I have enabled, so it records what is the start time of your meeting. So my start time of the meeting is 16:39. Okay, you can reset it whenever you want. So you can see here, whoever has joined, their names have already come here. Okay, so what happens is this will continue. Okay, as soon as people start joining. So you can see that there is a question mark right now. You can tell that they are verified students by just clicking on this option. So that gives them saying that they are the correct students. So nobody got invitation here because, sorry, nobody got the pop-up here because I invited them. That's one thing to be careful about. Okay, I'm getting people who are joining. I want few more to join possible. Why did I put this grid view extension? That's because this software works with, this extension works in grid view. So that means by default, if you go and see the layout that is there, we have maximum capability of having 12 in a grid view settings, okay? Not more than that, okay? So if you want to have more than that, you need to put this extension, because every minute, this particular tool records the attendance based on this screen that is there. Whoever participants are there on this screen, their attendance will start getting recorded. So that's why grid view is a very important extension. Only having Google Meet attendance will not serve the purpose. Okay, so right now I have 8. I can invite few more in that case. Let me just see. I'm going to invite few more just so that my class will get filled. So somebody has given wrong email IDs, so the X will come to them. Okay, sorry, these are not wrong email IDs. This is basically they have declined. That is what that X is. So let me click on save, send. Okay, I can check this saying that they are active. So now I'm going to run this session for, let's say, 5 more minutes, because this particular Google Meet extension records your attendance for every minute. So if, let's say, somebody has joined and gone out and again joined back, that is getting recorded. Okay, so it will tell you what time you left, what time you came back, you know, whether you had a gap in between. All these things will be recorded by this particular software that is there. Okay, so this is the icon. So you will see that sometimes this icon starts blinking. So that basically corresponds to, see, this is what happens when somebody from an outside non-invited person tries to join. Okay, so that was Chitranjan trying to join from his personal email ID, whereas I sent the invitation to his SJC email ID. So this is typically what you will face. So what happens is, as more people join this particular session, this entire window becomes very huge. That means, you know, there will be a lot of congestion. This will slow down sometimes your system, not the system, the Google Chrome extension itself. There is a chance that you know, this will be causing sometimes problems. Okay. Apart from that, to record session, you need to go here and click on record meeting. So as soon as you click on record meeting, Google follows US constraints where the consent need to be taken. So that's why you need to click on accept and wait till this record becomes red. Don't start your class immediately. So wait till this becomes red. Only after that you can start recording your session. So once it becomes red, that means the recording has started. There was some question which I observed saying that some other people can record. I don't think so. They can record. If you are
Uh, Kitsa, your voice is not audible, sir.
I got the problem because I started two meetings. Is it audible now?
Yeah, it's audible now. Because,
Yeah, okay, okay.
Okay. So still it's not audible.
Anup sir, is it fine now?
Yeah, now it's audible, sir. But I think your screen is not shared now.
No, no, no. I just stopped it because I had to disconnect from the audio.
Okay, okay. Yeah, now audio is clear. But again, it's not there. Like audio is not there now.
Is it fine?
Yes, now it's fine.
Anup sir, is it fine now?
Yeah, now it's fine. Now,
Yeah. Okay. No breaking, right?
no, it's not breaking now.
Okay, okay, fine. All right. So basically, this is what you get downloaded. So as I said, minute by minute, it was taking the attendance. That's what I was trying to convey in the previous session in the meet window. So it basically says who entered at what time and who left at what time. So I can see that Ragesh Raju was there only for 1 minute and then he left. So that's how you can record these attendances. I can show it to one of my classes. Let me just bring that up. I know it is getting. Okay, so I'm just showing you the one of the attendance recording which I have done. So this is for my set of students, almost 120 students were there. So this is how their attendance is getting recorded, and I have the ability to check for the other dates also, but I have not linked them. I have not put them in the same file. So it basically shows you the amount to which they were attentive. It basically gives the information whether they were just left it on and gone somewhere. So green means they were paying attention. This gain with the lines means they were not paying so much attention and all these things. And this shows that there was a gap. So they had entered and then they left. So like this, you can monitor the attendance. Okay. So same way you can get an Excel sheet. I'll just show you the sheet. So this is the Excel sheet that you will get, and with the Excel sheet, you can individually mark the attendance by looking at who were there for what time. So it will tell you how long they were there. So 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 6 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute. So like this, it will help you to record the attendance. All right, so that's it from my side with respect to Google Meet as well as Canvas instructor. If there are any questions, I'll take it up in next 2 minutes or so. Ramanand sir has asked one question. Do we have to start the recording or it will do automatically? You need to start recording, sir. It will not do it automatically. How to create common duplicate Google Meet link without scheduling a Google Meet via Google Calendar. Google Calendar is must for whenever you are scheduling Google Meet is must. Anup sir, any things from your side?
Yeah, sir. We have a couple of offline questions here, sir.
Yeah.
One question is how we'll get to know whether the student is really involved, like whether he has kept it open and went outside.
Okay, that's what I said I'll just share that window back again. I'm not sure whether this is fully true or not. If you see this full green line means he is attentive. That's what I am assuming. The other one with the checkered ones, with some lines over here, this basically corresponding that he's going in out or he's not paying attention. That's what I can interpret, but I'm not still sure about that because this basically says that rejoined again, etc., etc. So that's what it is. And if you have this list and somebody is absent, so that entire section will become, green. Red. I can show you to that. Let's say I'll go for the recent class that I had. So this is for a recent class that I had. So two were absent. So this will be marked as red. Any other questions, sir?
No, sir. As of now, we have only that much.
Yeah. Okay. All right. In that case,
yeah, sir. Actually, a couple more questions are there.
Yeah.
Will I be able to get attendance of the previous classes?
Yeah, automatically, as I said, once you close the meeting, as soon as you close the meeting, some files will be downloaded. Two files. One is Excel and one is HTML. So make sure that you save it, and so you can see that this is for my class, which is on 18th. So like this, I'm opening the 18th one. I'll get the record of the previous ones also. Okay. So for 2, I can't. Let me just go back. So this, if you put everything in the same file, you will get attendances for the previous one.
Okay, and one more question is, before adding extension, if I've taken some classes, is there any option to get those attendance details as well?
Not possible.
Yeah, and another question is, can students stop the recording?
No, not possible.
Yeah, only that much, sir. As of now.
Okay, there's one more. Lolin has sent. Can anyone with SJC email ID join the Google Meet event if they are not invited? If they are not invited, you will definitely get a pop-up. Anybody who is not invited will get a pop-up. Okay, saying that whether to admit or not. Aryashri is having one more question. If I schedule a meeting in the calendar Google Classroom, then whether the students will be able to join without sending the request. I think scheduling using Google Classroom calendar, I think it will be discussed by Ragesh when he does Google Classroom. Any other questions, sir?
No, sir. Only
that's it, right?
That's it. That's it for today.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the illuminating session. And we are fortunate today to hear the talk. So our heartfelt thanks to you for taking time to deliver the talk. My sincere thanks goes to the college management, our beloved director, Reverend Father Wilfred Prakash D'Souza, assistant directors, Reverend Father Rohit D'Costa and Reverend Father Alvin Richard D'Souza, for their unconditional support in all our endeavors. My heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed principal for his encouragement and support in organizing the webinar. I thank the SJC family for being supportive always in every way. Last but not the least, a big thank you to all our wonderful participants for your active participation in the webinar. Thank you, one and all.